Hey, welcome in. Well, remember Michael Jordan saying Republicans buy sneakers too? Well, they also enjoy entertainment. Or not, depending on how much you insult them. We've got the headline, even with lockdowns, Emmys post lowest ratings ever. Do we have a get woke go broke here? So let's see what's going on here. Despite the best efforts of host Jimmy Kimmel, he's an embarrassment. We're going to find out just how much of an embarrassment in a minute, because I've got a true, just beyond fatal levels of cringe happening from Jimmy Kimmel from a segment he did at the Emmys coming up. But let's just read this first. So, despite the best efforts of host Jimmy Kimmel to champion, quote, Black Lives Matter, despite a mini Friends reunion with Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and Lisa Kudrow, despite the fact that many people are watching television because of lockdowns, Sunday's broadcast of the Emmys plunged to an all-time low. That's an all-time low, with only 6.1 million viewers paying attention to the Hollywood crowd. Last year's show reached nearly 6.9 million people. But they used to get a lot more than that. You can see here, in 2000, the Emmys were watched by 21.8 million viewers. That's almost 22 million people. In 2010, that had dropped to 13.5 million. Still a lot. Well, what happened between 2000 and 2010? Well, you had, between 2000 and 2008, you had a Republican president, and you had a lot of politics starting to emerge, way more so than in the past, in the entertainment industry and amongst, celebrities spouting off. And I think as we're seeing with, the pro leagues ratings, very bad with the Oscars, all of it across the board, people are getting less interested in things that are becoming more political that aren't supposed to be political. And here we have, over 20 years, a show which is an institution, a cultural institution like the Oscars, going from almost 22 million viewers to just over 6 million. So that tells you something. So maybe alienating half of your potential customers, potential viewers, is bad. But anyway, it says here, a 2017 study conducted amongst 800 people by the National Research Group discovered that 68% of Trump voters disliked political speeches at the Oscars. So much so that 66% of them have turned off the TV set because an actor gave a political speech at the podium. This is no surprise. It goes on, with the country split into nearly two equal fractions. Awards show that include political statements from the host and winners alienate half of the potential audience. The recent Emmy Awards was no different, with overt and subtle, scripted and unscripted comments about the current administration in Washington. And this is the thing, split into two equal factions. Well, it only goes one way with Hollywood and the Emmys and the Oscars. It's just one way. And you really can't help but feel that if you don't agree with them, they don't like you. And they don't need you. That is the message. They don't need you. And a lot of people are saying, well, you know what? I don't need you either. But anyway, let's get to Jimmy Kimmel here. Let's see what might turn viewers off from watching. Let's see. How about this? Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot.
Please welcome 9-time Emmy nominee Anthony Anderson.
All right. JK, now, before we announce the nominees, I have a few things that I'd like to say.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Because in rehearsal, I thought we decided that we're just gonna...
we have a record number of Black Emmy nominees this year, which is great. This is the part where the white people start to applaud.
Oh.
And nod.
Oh.
Thank you, Jimmy. All right, these Emmy...
Okay, it only gets worse from there. I'm not going to play anymore. So there'll be a link in the description if you can stomach the rest of it, with Jimmy Kimmel just cutting off his own balls on stage, I guess, for the amusement of a fringe group of activists. It's like there's not even any pretext of like we're all in it together anymore, right? There's not even any kind of pretext of that. It's just this group of people is bad. You have to shut up and do what we say. That's it. I mean, who are these 6 million people that are watching this? I guess it's just fringe, left-wing, identitarian, weird race cult lunatics, I guess. That's awful to watch, though. It's embarrassing. It's just truly cringe. I guess I tend to throw the word cringe around quite a bit, but I mean, that is true cringe. That's awful. And again, they've just completely dispensed with this "we're all in it together" thing. No, not according to the Emmys. Apparently not. Shut up, do what we say. That's the message. I fully expect that 6.1 million viewership number to go down again next year. And how many people turned off the TV when they saw that? It's just gross. It's gross from any side that you come at it from. If you were to reverse the roles there, that would be gross. But anyway, let's continue with this. There was the usual snapping at President Trump this year. Yes, because that's not boring. Orange man bad, orange man bad. From a bunch of people who don't even understand what they're advocating for. Let's see, there's some more cringe here. This time it emanated from Jesse Armstrong, the creator of Succession. Bleating, and that's a good word. Quote, "To President Trump for his crummy and uncoordinated response. Thank you to Boris Johnson and his government for doing the same in my country. Thank you to the nationalist and sort of quasi-nationalist governments in the world doing sort of the opposite of what we need right now. Thank you to the media moguls who do so much to keep them in power." So I guess the media moguls who put the Emmys together aren't going to be too happy with that, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they've become such masochists that they actually enjoy it. Who knows? Apparently Jimmy Kimmel does. And it's just, these are people who don't know anything either, by the way. So President Trump for his crummy and uncoordinated response. So is he a dictator or not, right? Because the states have the right to organize their own responses the way they please. So should Trump have just, declared like military law or something like that, or martial law, and forced everybody to do what he wanted or not? So is he a dictator or not? It just seems to change compared to the political convenience. Let's see. Thank you to the nationalist and sort of quasi-nationalist governments. What, like China? Is he talking about China there? I don't think he was. And here with Kimmel, we've already seen the beginning of it, and I just couldn't stand to see anymore. I'll put the link in the description. But he made him keep repeating Black Lives Matter louder and louder. Kimmel obediently yelled Black Lives Matter. Again, this is the, just do what we say. Shut up until we tell you to chant with us. Let's see, and let's finish it off with this. Kimmel, noting the fact there was not a live audience this year because of the coronavirus, also mocked Trump by saying, quote, "This isn't a MAGA rally, it's the Emmys." Well, aside from a drastically diminishing audience that agrees with him, he doesn't understand. This isn't a MAGA rally, it's the Emmys. The joke's on him, and the joke's on the Emmys. But I think it's pretty much impossible for him to realize that. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel had to do this anyway just because of, there's the whole blackface thing and the controversies that he's had. And he's just been on a hiatus for a while to try and get away from the spotlight because the woke mob was coming after him. So I guess this is his chance to atone. You can never actually really atone. That's the problem. Once you're guilty, you're always guilty. There's no forgiveness. Maybe that's why they hate Christianity so much. Because there's no redemption in the left-wing cult. So will this help him? I don't know. He is powerful enough that he'll probably weather all of the woke storm. And maybe they've forgotten already anyway and just moved on to so many other, oppressive systemic oppressions. They're so busy looking under every other rock in the world. Maybe they've forgotten about him anyway and his crimes against wokeness. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for stopping in. Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps me. If you just want to listen, there's the podcast, The Richie Baloney Show, and Radio Baloney. It's on basically every platform, including Spotify. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.